So we've got more storms, more tornadoes. I mean, as I said, there's a real chance that when you're in Kansas, you might be on beachfront property pretty soon.
That doesn't speak too well of where we're situated here on the West Coast.
No, not particularly, but what is interesting, I know we're up for more earthquakes, so I also predicted the one January 17th, 1994, to the minute, and that's documented. So we will continue to have earthquakes out here. However, I gotta say, I would rather be here rocking and a rolling with a chance than be stuck on the East Coast right now, where I will say, without fail, the earth is literally carving out a new coastline for us. But yeah, and I am not a doom and gloom person, believe it or not. I'm really not. I'm always looking for a way out.
How can we make the best of it? How should we prepare for what's coming? How do we be part of the solution?
Demand absolute transparency. Demand that either Republicans make a reasonable effort or abolish the party. Unbelievable. I just got that from the Eight of Swords. Jupiter and Gemini, which, by the way, let's see where our country's Mercury is. Oh, Mars is in Gemini for our country. So, these are great questions. Uranus is in Gemini. We need to make our voices heard.
Okay, now there's been, in the wake of the Connecticut shooting and the Aurora shooting and everything, been this very big play for gun control. And of course, all of the gun advocates, they cite the Second Amendment and, the need for us to defend ourselves against a tyrannical government.
Brilliant question. Now, the answer to that Knight of Swords, which is fire of air,
that sounds like a gun.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And the Knight of Swords is a real mofo, okay? Doesn't care about anybody or anything, okay? The bird that's always associated with the Knight of Swords is the swallow, because I guess they're going to make us swallow a bunch of crap. Kabbalah Manus strikes again. However, I think we had a little bit of a discussion about this earlier, wherein I said, I'm not against guns or that people own them. I just don't believe that we need AK-47s and Bushmasters. I just don't. And yes, we do know that those kind of guns will always get to the hands of people who shouldn't have them. Yes, we kind of get that. Okay, it's like leaving a kid alone in the house and somewhere there are some cookies that the kid can get into. Okay, what we really need to be doing here, instead of worrying so much about, convincing the NRA to stop their big advertisement for guns, they are actually working on the paranoia factor of all Americans by saying, no, but we need our guns because just in case. No, we don't. If you would take the time to learn the issues and vote for the correct and the best people into office, then you wouldn't have to worry that the government is going to go come and rape you financially in the middle of the night and stick a kerchief over your eyes, or toss you into Guantanamo against your will.
Well, okay, but you've just painted a picture of America going down the tubes. So what can we do between now and the next election cycle?
We have to literally create this kind of organization again and protest. We got to get back out in the streets because let's get real. Oh, you have a Bushmaster. Oh, well, guess what? The government has a bazooka. You'll never be able to stop the government from going against its people just merely on gun power. It's not going to happen. And the joke of the day is that Bushmaster gun was used again just a couple of days ago. That psycho burned down 7 houses, killed his own mother or grandmother, killed his sister, set the fires, and then waited for the fire people to show up and blew them away.
So we need to do something energetically.
Yes.
Is there something that we can do on the astral plane, or is there the power of collective prayer, or
no?
No.
Because here's the deal.
Okay.
One of the great magicians of the 20th century, Edward Alexander Crowley, also famously known as Aleister Crowley, in his book Magic in Theory and Practice, states very unequivocally, it is easier to go out and get a job and get some money than it is to evoke the spirit, Zachiel, to like send some money in the mail.
Okay, but if people haven't woken up yet, how bad does it have to get before people start to, take charge of their lives or their destiny?
It's going to happen pretty quickly. And I will say, I don't sit around at night staring into an inkwell like Lady Nostradamus per se. So when you ask me these questions, I'm literally answering them psychically in the moment, using all of my methods as I described. And I have to say, we're pretty much there. And if the Republicans